Yo, what is up, guys? It's your boy Grinch here, coming at you with another video. Today I'm going to be talking about the Cardinals and Panthers game. Bad game for the Cardinals, taking another loss. I don't even know what to think about it. Panthers were sitting at like 1-6, I think, maybe 1-5. Now they are 2-5 or 2-6, and the Cardinals are sitting at 3-4-1. Honestly, thought that a defense would be able to step it up after playing the Seahawks, seeing a good flashes, very good play by the defense, and that we would come out and be ready to play, but obviously not. After coming after a very tiring and long overtime game, playing a whole 5 quarters basically, and it just affected us. The Panthers coming off a bye week, they were ready to play, and we just weren't. Let's start off with David Johnson. Just flat out came and stopped the run. Only had 24 yards, and they they outgained us even with the rushing yards. Our defense couldn't stop the run. They they had a total of 141 yards. Uh, Jonathan Stewart racked up 90 of those yards, to be exact, 95, and Cam had 43 of those yards. And David Johnson only had 10 carries for 24 yards. And we just didn't seem to get the ball rolling, and that's our bread and butter, and we just couldn't get it rolling. He still had a pretty good game, uh, even though he didn't have such a great rushing game. He got 80, 84 receiving yards. My bad, apologies. He had 84 receiving yards, and I think it was off a reception where he got a hurdle. It was just crazy. Like, after all he's done, he still comes out here and still balls out. Like, it was like 4th and like 4, and we needed a play, and he had him in the backfield. He hurdles the guy, and he takes it in, jukes Luke Kuechly for a couple more yards, and gets us a first down. David Johnson still balls out, even though he can't rush. He can still receive, and that's one of the great things about David Johnson. But obviously, he didn't play to his full potential, and we need him. We need him to run the ball better, and we need offensive line to block. After Palmer got sacked 8 times. 8 times. Even though he got sacked 8 times, he still had a pretty good game. Our passing was still pretty good. And David Johnson led the reception yards. J.J. Nelson came in second with 79 yards. He played a great game in the game against Carolina. He ended up with 79 yards, 2 touchdowns, and I think those are the only touchdowns Arizona scored, and that really affected us. We needed to score more. Our defense needed to stop more. Palmer had a pretty good game. Had 35 46 completions, ended up with 363 yards and 3 touchdowns. And I think one of the touchdowns, my bad, not we didn't have 2 touchdowns. I think he threw one of them to David Johnson for another touchdown. I don't quite remember that, but Carson Palmer still played a great game, even though he got sacked. He threw one interception. It wasn't totally his fault. He had David Johnson wide open I think it was on an outside curl route, and then one of the defensive linemen just jumps up, picks off the ball, and it was a really crucial drive for us, that one, because we had just got momentum back, and we were getting ready to come back, and there was a couple minutes left in the game, and the throw interception that late in the game just hurt us, and we couldn't get back to it. Now let's start with the offensive line. We are struggling right now on the offensive line, and we just took a big hit with Gerald Deere. Had a torn, I think, tricep. and now he was put on the IR. And already with a struggling offensive line, he's one of our best offensive linemen. He's protecting Palmer's blind side to his left. So like, and that's somebody we really needed. And now he's on the IR. I think we brought somebody back. His name is Boggs. He was a guard, and we'll probably switch him up. Uh, but yeah, we need our backers to come back and to come and start ready to play because we got a lot of injured players right now. Ty Matthews out 3 to 6 weeks with a subluxation on the shoulder. He'll be out for a while, and it's in a beat up secondary. So we'll need to regroup. The Cardinals need to regroup this bye week. They got a bye week coming up. Hopefully they can rest, get a regroup, get things rolling. Get fix the pieces, put parts in that they need. Like defense, obviously needs to fix. They have sometimes they have a good game, sometimes they don't. They fix that. They need to be more consistent, and that's been the biggest problem for the Cardinals this season. Haven't been consistent enough. There's one game they played okay against the Patriots. I think they played a decent game, and next thing you know, they come out against the Buccaneers and they play a great game, 40-7. They slaughtered them. And you think, oh, they just needed a wake up call, and this is the Cardinals are going to be out throughout the rest of the season. No, they take losses, take hits, and they just haven't been consistent. That's been hurting them, and they need to be more consistent. And they want to start winning games. That's going to be the key. They start being more consistent. And Ty Matthew was a big factor to that because he he just started getting into his groove again. He hasn't played that to his full potential this year, and it's affected us too. And that's something the Cardinals need to watch out for. They need to. Luckily, we have DJ Swanger backing him up. He's done good. He played great against the Jets. Laid a hit on I think Brandon Marshall, and he got a touchdown saving pick. And we ended up winning that game. And I don't think they scored. The Jets didn't even score a touchdown. And I thought, hey, that's another great defensive game. And it wasn't against such a good offense, so like I wasn't so sure about it. And then they come out and they play against the Seahawks, and they play a great game against the Seahawks. The defense played a great game against the Seahawks. So I think, hey, we have a good defense. We did come out a 5-quarter game, and we might be a little bit tired, and they might come off a bye week, but it's no excuse. The Cardinals shouldn't have any excuse. They should have played better. The defense got run over and just affected us. And I think we only ended up with one sack, and there was by our linebacker. It wasn't even he's like a backup linebacker. His name's Gabriel Martin. We needed Campbell to work, and Campbell just didn't do his thing. He actually got fined. I just got an update today. I was I was on my phone. Then I get an update of the Campbell. I'm like, Campbell, what did he get fined for? And then he got fined $18,231 for a low hit on count. They didn't count the foul in the game, so they ended up fining him. And the Cardinals, well, they need a. Supposedly Cam doesn't feel safe anymore, and Campbell didn't do anything to help him out. But we're playing a game of football. It's rough. I don't know why there should be anything low hit or anything. It's football. It's gonna be hits. It's gonna be rough hits. But you want to go and find him. It's up to the NFL. There's rules are rules. And what's it called? What was I gonna say? Uh, I can't quite remember, so I'll probably get back to it later. But yeah, we need to be ready for San Francisco. We had already beat them, so hopefully we can go out and beat them again. Again, the Cardinals need to regroup, and We just need to play better. Offense, we need to start running the ball better again. And once we can do that, I feel like we can start getting the ball rolling. And it's the second half of the season. Luckily, we're still only 2 games behind the Seahawks, so we're still in it because the Seahawks lost this week. We needed them to lose, and they lost. And good job to the Saints out there. Thank you guys. But nah, the Cardinals really need to pick it up. If we want any chance, we need to start picking it up. We need to start regrouping. We have a bye week, and hopefully we can regroup and let's get things rolling. Come on, man! It's time for the Cardinals to start doing something. Hopefully we can do this. And I still can't quite remember. If I remember, I'll probably lay down on the title. But until then, I'll probably be here next week talking about the bye week. If there's any updates I need to tell you about. Oh no, I remember I was going to tell you about. Bruce Arians was going to challenge the call because of Carson Palmer. The very first play, they got off and scored a touchdown off a fumble, but it was a forward pass, but they called it as a fumble, and they couldn't replay because the replays weren't working. I don't know why, and so they just went with the call, and they couldn't change or anything. And it was obviously a forward pass. It was obvious. Bruce Arians was mad. I was mad too. Like I just found out like yesterday that 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 the refs actually came to him in the after the half, and they told him that it was actually a forward pass. But obviously they couldn't take the touchdown away. It was too late at the time, and well, the game's the game. It's over. There's nothing you can do about it now, and just keep playing. And you gotta shake that off and get out to the bye week, rest up, gather up, get ready to play against San Francisco. And they're not doing so well, but you can't act like you're the beast around here. Obviously, you could tell the the Carolina Panthers were 1-5 or 1-6, and they still come in. They outplay us, and we can't be playing like that against the Niners. We gotta be ready. All right. Thank you guys. Hopefully, hit the comment anything you want to know, anything else. Comment. And if there's anything else you want me to do, please hit the like button, subscribe, and Grinch is out.